Have you ever heard people say things like, rest is not in my dictionary? Rest is not in my dictionary. Uncle, auntie, you better rest before it becomes mandatory. Hi everyone, and welcome to Words with DatOneLady. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the podcast. How have you been doing? How are you doing? It's a beautiful Saturday morning over here. And on today's episode of the podcast, we're going to be talking about rest. Yes, you heard that well. Rest. Like you heard at the beginning, a lot of us have this saying that rest is not in our dictionary. Rest is for the dead. Rest is for those who are not maybe, strong and doing well. And we are all wrong. But before going into this conversation, please grab your coffee, grab your wine, grab your water, grab, a comfy cover cloth, plug your ears, and listen carefully. Guys, I'm begging you all, rest is for the living. Rest is for those who can actually rest. In the last 2 months, or over the last 2 months, or at some point in the last 2 months, I had been traveling, and I'm going to add some excerpts or clips or whatever they call it, audio excerpts from my trip, and you would understand where I'm going through with that. But I came to the realization the last 2 months that if you don't rest, your body will force you to rest, which is quite interesting. So very important people in my life in the last 2 months have gone through episodes of their bodies forcing them to rest following like severe situations, severe illnesses or severe like injuries and all of that. And it has been quite interesting. Even I myself who's talking is finally just getting a voice back because she's been ill for like a week and a half. Oh, some of my friends did not know this, but now you know. And it all stemmed from the culture of go, go, go. You don't have to rest until your last breath. Oh, you see what I did there? Burn. But please, if there's anything you take from today or this episode today is, let's cultivate the culture of rest, even while we are still achieving all that great things we want to achieve. In the sense that, I know that even as a grad student, it's kind of hard. When I mean hard, I mean it's very hard to actually turn off your brain and just say, I want to rest today. Grad students are the ones that will still go on vacation and work. You know yourself and you're listening to this and you know what I'm talking about. Grad students are the ones who they are out in the park enjoying with their friends and they still have their phones scrolling through their emails. And that also goes for every other adult out there. We never know how to turn off and say there's a reason why there's a weekend, and there's a reason why the weekend was made, for rest. Even as a Christian, the Bible said it, on the seventh day, Jesus rested. So why is it that the person who created us created a day of rest, but we as individuals have decided that we are not going to rest? It's kind of absurd though. I don't know where my plan with this conversation, but when I started recording, what I wanted to do was just kind of encourage people to rest, take time out to rest. There's a reason why when you got your contract for your job, it was 40 hours a week and not 24 hours a day. So therefore, when you get up in the morning on Monday and you go to work from maybe 8 to 5 or 9 to 5, make sure that you use that time really well to, get work done. And in between all of that, take your breaks and, rest and eat and nourish your body. Because all the work that you're doing, if the carrier of that individual, which is your body, doesn't get enough rest, you will not be able to give as much output as you would want to. So, and I think there's something that we don't realize. We don't realize that the more we rest, the more productive we are. It's quite interesting how we don't get that, concept and phenomenon. And guys, don't think I am the best. I am not. I am also terrible. I am also the worst at resting. And I know every other person who knows me well will know that, oh my God, you're speaking to the choir. I mean, I am the choir. I don't know what rest is. And when I think back, and I was having a conversation with my friend recently, and we're talking about, okay, so where did this culture of not resting come from? And I realized that from when I was much younger, my parents, hopefully they don't listen to this episode, I love you guys, but well, they don't anyway, so whatever. My parents kind of imbibed in me the culture of, you have to keep going, do what you have to do. From a very young age, I used to stay up till late in the night to study. From a very young age, I used to have numerous exams to do. From a very young age, I used to have to read a lot. Even though, I came to realize as an adult that I don't think I was being productive with those like late night reading times. But rather it almost seemed like a charade for my brain to tell, that thing when you do things for your brain to feel like you're studying and you're trying to be smart and all that stuff. Because it was a shocker when I finally went to uni and I realized that I had not learned how to study. Staying up late in the night and, burning midnight candles were not even helping. Rather, I was putting my body through unnecessary stress. But having grown up that way and then becoming an adult and realizing that, when your body cannot take it again, it cannot take it again. When your brain cannot assimilate anymore again, it can actually not assimilate anymore again. So why not, in a day, spend 2 to 3 hours trying to study and getting something from it than spending 10 hours, studying and not getting anything in that 10 hours, but rather stressing your eyes, stressing your brain, stressing yourself, and at the end of the day, becoming frustrated when the results comes out and it doesn't work. And that's where I slightly fault our parents, in the sense that we were not taught how to study. We were not taught how to, read, but rather we were taught to sit down on your desk and spend 15 hours. And because you spend 15 hours studying or trying to study, and you're not seeing me right now, I'm doing air quotes on that study, we think that we have done great and we're going to do well in the exam. Unknowing to us or unbeknownst to us, our brain hasn't actually assimilated anything that we've done in the last 10-15 hours. So what am I saying here? Please, if you grew up in that culture as well of study, and not rest, I'm telling you, as the big sister that you do not have, or as that big sister that has not told you the truth in a long time, please, let's cultivate the habit of rest. I know on Twitter people have said a lot that young people, just fall and collapse or just pass on, and they're saying, oh, this happened, that happened. And most times we don't realize that as young people, we are putting ourselves through unknowing conditions that could lead to like sudden deaths, because we're stressing our hearts, stressing our brains, stressing our bodies. And, the body too will tell you at some point, okay, I'm done. Bye. And we don't want that to actually be us falling and dying. So I'm not trying to be gory or being extreme, but please, guys, if you're working, please make sure that your 8 hours of work is, put to good use. And when you have to take breaks, take breaks. If you're a student, make sure that the hours that you are in school and in class, you're using it properly. And if you have study time, your scheduled study time is actually meaningful study time. If you realize that your body, you're looking at a book and you realize that you've gone over that page over and over again, and you keep asking yourself, what is this page saying? That's your cue to close the book and go rest or go do something else. Because it would pay you more if you get up from that seat and go do something else that you might love or you might enjoy than sitting down there. Because imagine if, just think about it, you spend, you had an exam next week, and all through the week you spend 3 hours studying, and 3 hours every day, for the next 1 week studying, and you get to the exam hall, all the things that you studied maybe was just only like 60% of the exam, and you got like 60%. Then you spend 10 hours every day studying, and all the time in that your 10 hours, you were not assimilating anything. You get to the exam hall, you feel like you don't know anything on the exam paper, and then you finish and you get like 30%. You would ask yourself this question. You say, I spent a lot of time studying. So why did I not do well? The question now comes back to you like, in that lot of time you were spending studying, were you actually studying or you were just wasting time and putting yourself through undue pressure? I understand that we also are in a culture of do well, have good grades, succeed and be the greatest in the world and da. But what would it, profit a man to put yourself through all that undue stress? And by the time you achieve this great goal, you then are not there to be celebrated, or you're not there to actually, enjoy this good thing that you have not achieved. Or now you then have to use all the money that you have achieved to take care of an illness, an ailment that you acquired during this culture of go, no rest. So yeah, your body is a temple, take care of it. Your body is housing your soul, your spirit. And you don't want, if there's anything wrong with the body that's carrying your soul and your spirit to not be well, your soul and your spirit to not be doing great. So your mind, body, and soul there are three important entities that you need to take care of. And somebody will ask me, how do I do this? How do I rest? What exactly is rest? Closing whatever it is, work, school, any other thing, and taking time to just be, and being in, just sit down still and just enjoying your environment, spending time with friends, spending time with colleagues, spending time with you. Someone will say, what do you mean spending time with me? How often do we spend time with ourselves? As Christians, they spend time with God, the man who created us, the person who created us. But the question is, as an individual, how many times do you spend time with yourself? How many times do you, just sit down and ask yourself questions like, how am I doing today? How do I feel about today? How did my week go? Where did I think I did terribly? Where do I think I can do better? And in this regards, people say vacations are good places to actually, spend time with yourself. But guess what? A lot of us spend our vacations working still. And when I mean working, spend time, when you go on vacation and everybody's always like, what do you call it? Sightseeing, doing things. They're out at 7 a.m. in the morning. You're already out on a trail, doing this, doing that, visiting this, touring that, da. At the end of the day, most of us will go on vacations and come back needing time to rest from the vacation that was supposed to be a rest time for us. On that note, I am going to plug in my audio recording from my most recent trip to shed light on this conversation, and I'll be back, guys. There is this phenomena where everybody says you're out on a trip, enjoy it. So today I want to be talking about what it means to actually enjoy yourself on a trip. Yeah, it's summer. Everybody's beginning to plan all their fun places they want to go to, where they want to be, how they want to spend it, and you also thinking how you want to spend your trip. And I think I'm of the opinion that the way you spend your trip should be dependent on you and no one else. Like, nobody has to formate it for you. You do it by yourself without any, ideology of how it's supposed to be. Now, what do I mean? So I've been on this trip for a couple of days, almost a week now. And the question I've been asking myself, or I've asked a few people, is, what do I do here? Where do I visit? Where do I go to? And people have told me like all the fun places, but guess what? I've just not felt like doing any of that. Rather, I've spent my time sleeping, catching up on sleep, and visiting coffee stores and seeing the nature in the area where I am staying, and seeing like the architecture, and then walking and taking walks along the riverbanks and stuff. And I've asked myself, would you regret it when you leave here that you did not see all the fun places that everybody said you should see? And I'm like, no. Because I enjoyed it the way I wanted to enjoy it. I could go to like the funnest places, visit all the best places, but still end up not enjoying the trip because I'll be so exhausted from the trip. And I don't think I would have done what I wanted to do. So on this trip, as much as I have been busy with academic stuff, which is presenting and being very professional, I just wanted to relax and rest. And I think I've done that, and I am happy. Happy is an understatement. I am very excited for how I'll spend this holiday. Anyway, it's been great. Yeah, so if you're going on that trip this summer, whatever you're doing, whatever you're visiting, do what you want to do. You don't have to do all the 10 important things you're supposed to do in the city you're going to. You don't have to enjoy the 15 important things you're supposed to enjoy when you go to a particular city. Rather, do what you want to do in that city. How do you want to enjoy? If leaving your comfort zone or the country or city or state or province that you live in to another place means taking time to rest and get in some sleep time, do it. If it means spending time in a coffee store and just enjoy nature, do it. If it means, getting the best drinks and eating the best foods of the area, do it. If it means just sitting down under the sun in the park and reading a book, just do it. Because it's quite interesting though. We all go on these trips. We go to these amazing places, visit all these amazing places, and at the end of the day, we're too exhausted that we come back and we're like, oh my god, the trip was supposed to be relaxing, but rather it was tiring. I was speaking to someone yesterday, and she said how, oh my god, I spent so much time on this trip that I think I'm going back more exhausted than I was when I left. And that hit me hard, and I was like, wait, why do we do this to ourselves all in the name of going on vacation? Anyway, that's my tip for the day. If you're going on a vacation, do what you want to do. If visiting all these landmark places and the places you're visiting is what you want to do it. If it's not what you want to do, you do not have to do it. Capish? Anyway, that's a very short one. Let me see, what else do I want to say today? Our rant sessions have been the greatest, and currently in a coffee store recording this episode, and it's going to sound different. All the coffee clanking, and all the music in the background. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted for this because I don't know what music is playing, but it's such a beautiful coffee place that I'm in. This is my second one for the day. And yeah, guys, I'm about to join my class in 15 minutes because I have a class to attend. Yeah, exactly. I know, I'm on a trip. I'm supposed to be relaxing. I am trying to, and that's why I'm not visiting, places that would stress me out, but rather just doing things I want to do and eating a grilled cheese sandwich, grabbing coffee, and just enjoying it like I should. I hope this episode comes out nice, but yeah, what are you guys doing for summer? Any fun plans? I leave where I currently am tomorrow. I'm excited for my next location, and yeah, let's see how this trip go. But I can't wait to be back home though, and those that know me know why. Have a wonderful day, guys. Yes, guys, you had that right. I tried to rest. I tried to do my best, and I did not get to record again after this particular rant on that trip. But I think aside from going on vacation and making sure that we are actually resting while we're on vacation, another way of resting is actually shutting down our minds and doing mundane things. And mundane thing can be anything. And I know there's some people who don't have the capacity to actually take some rest time. But the truth is, you would find it. And you know why I say you will find it is because if you either fall ill or become incapable of doing the things you normally do, there's always that time when you're not doing anything. Like, so take for instance, you fall ill and doctor's like, you can't do anything today, you can't go back to work, your office knows, or people, whatever it is, whatever you are, so busy with is aware, you always end up resting. So instead of waiting till that time when you become incapacitated or when you're not mandated to rest, why not just find time in your everyday life to rest? And I'm not saying that you should not do what you're supposed to do. I'm not saying that you should forgo every other thing you're supposed to do and not do anything and maybe be resting every time and, become very nonchalant about life. But I'm saying make it a part of your day, make it a part of your life so that you don't get any mandatory bed rest or any mandatory be at home or, also mandatory rest can be, being in the hospital. So to avoid all that, let's take time to rest. And if you don't have the capacity to even go on vacation, you can take a vacation at home. You don't have to travel somewhere else. You can take a vacation spending time with friends in your neighborhood or changing your location to maybe even your friend's house or your family house or whatever. So yeah, that's basically it. And if you're a grad student and you were saying, "Oh, I want to be done soon. I want to finish this." Like me, I'm on a spree of I want to finish writing my desk, my thesis, my blah 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 blah. The truth is, if you don't give yourself rest now, you don't want the situation where you are getting ready to submit, and then you become so ill that you are away for a long time and are able to fulfill or complete that stuff you want to do. So give yourself intermittent rest and work it into your schedule completely so that you're able to still achieve stuff in the right time. And the funny thing though, you can still rest and finish things at the appropriate time. You can still rest and achieve your goal in record time. Sincerely. Anyway, guys, that's basically it on the rest episode. Like I always say, if you don't take anything from today, you should take that Saturdays and Sundays a day of rest, and you should actually rest. So what do I mean? When Monday starts, instead of complaining about Monday is another day of work, actually get to work, do what you're supposed to do. And once it's Saturday or Friday night, close that work and focus on resting. Focus on reading, focus on watching a movie, focus on just being you, spending time with people that matter. And another reason why we should actually rest is because we become in touch with our surroundings. So sometimes I look at my parents and I realize how much they're growing older and I need to spend more time with them. I need to talk to them more because I'm so scared of that day when they're going to be no more. So rather I would not be so engulfed in my day-to-day, my work, that I will not have time to spend with them. So resting is also catching up with the life that is actually moving so fast around me. It's catching up on, family and making sure that family is well, because it's just, life is so fickle and you don't want to be so engrossed in your work that you don't see life passing by so fast around you. And then once you are done and achieved everything, you realize that you're all alone because you've been so engulfed in your work. So yeah, rest involves a lot of things. I don't know if I've been able to conceptualize all of it for you guys to listen, but that's my 2 cents. That's my, my little nugget for you all today. It's Saturday. I'm hoping that I'm able to go out, read my book, do some stuff around the house and just be me. And enjoy the now, with friends or family and people that matter. So yeah, on that note, guys, I hope you have a pleasant weekend and a wonderful rest time because Monday is ahead and it beckons. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, for joining me on today's episode of the podcast. Until next time, have a wonderful day. Guys, thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it so much, don't forget to share, let your friends know, let your sister, brothers, uncle, mothers, fathers know about it. It can help anybody. This can help anybody at all. So go ahead and share it. If you also have a question, comments, things you like me to do more, or anything you like me to hear, go ahead and leave me an email. Check the description and you will find my email there, and I would love to hear back from you guys. Thank you so much once again, and until next time, keep living, keep loving, and ensure that you're living your truth. And until the next podcast, have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.